with 74 kilowatts. Woo! Lot of punch, everyone. Rio interior is so good. It actually feels like Copacabana beach. Kia Rio has been selling like hot cakes here in Belgium. In fact, we Belgians are obsessed with Kia. I actually don't understand why, but my best guess always told me it was the value for money aspect about their cars, and which is true, and it's proven. Every single Kia owner I speak with always express satisfaction. They always have good things to say about their Kia vehicles. And I don't see this level of enthusiasm from other road users. Over here is the 4th generation Kia Rio, everyone. Now the Kia Rio has a similar history like every other Kia model. In the 90s, they all started off as horrible reliability, horrible design, but the only thing they had a good reputation for was affordability. But then as the years progressed, the next generation always became better than the previous. The 3rd generation was where everything changed for the Kia Rio. The Kia Rio saw better changes and also more appeal, especially here in Belgium. But I believe that since 2016, when the 4th generation was released, which is right here, everyone, this is the 4th generation, everything improved big time, everyone. Interesting I mentioned 2016, everyone, because 2016 was the mid-2010s, and mid-2010s was basically the era when everything changed for Kia. Kia revolutionized itself. They really transformed themselves into a brand which is appealing, you know, somewhat funky, somewhat interesting and groundbreaking. This Kia Rio costs 22,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? We're gonna find out in a moment, everyone. But it's worth mentioning that Kia has a reputation for being great value for money. So let's see if this reputation holds. But then we also have to mention another important aspect. This Kia Rio model was released in 2016, and this is only the facelift version. So in the coming years, we are expecting a new generation to come. But let's get down to reviewing this Kia Rio right now. Over here is a 1-liter petrol engine with 74 kilowatts. Woo! Lot of punch, everyone. That's right. Believe me, 74 kilowatts is more than enough. Very cheap to insure, very cheap to tax, and just about enough power needed for a good acceleration. In accordance to the speed limit, like wise. But hey, acceleration will be good at least. And for those of you who are so concerned about the reliability of this engine or the reliability of this Kia Rio, don't panic and do not worry. You get the Kia Assistant that is just as reliable as the Kia car itself. And this Kia Assistant is 7 years. So over here is the exterior design of this Kia Rio, everyone. So this is the front. The front looks very good, everyone. Very nice, typical Kia identity. In fact, something about the front reminds me of the Kia Stonic. Since this is a facelift version, you do get this badge, everyone. The side view of the Kia Rio, everyone. Looks very good, looks very nice. A bit simplistic, but when it comes to identity, I see a lot of identity when it comes to the wheels, because something about the wheels reminds me of something Kia always did before, and I've seen this on many other Kia models in the past, especially from the 90s. They always have this sort of design of the wheel. Here's the rear design of the Kia Rio, everyone. Looks very, very nice. Again, you get this nice new badge right here, and you get your rear parking camera right next to the rear handle, everyone. That is very good. And you do get rear parking sensors as well. So that's a plus. I don't know if it's just me, but I find this lighting over here to be quite premium. I mean, it looks very good, and I really love the presentation. I mean, I like how you get this chrome surrounding it. Underneath those lights, you actually get air vents. Now that is a plus. Whilst exploring the exterior of this Kia Rio, I also noticed some questionable aspects. The first questionable aspect I would like to talk about, and this is something which we can perceive to be a bit debatable. When it comes to front parking sensors, for a price of 22,000 euros, I would have a little bit of expectations. For some reason, the Kia Rio prides itself with a lot of air intakes. Okay, so you have one air intake here, the second one right here, and the third one right here. But this completely neglects the area right here. This area has no purpose whatsoever. It's just part of the trim. Now, aesthetically, it looks good, but air, guys. The air does not go through here. I looked all over this Kia Rio, and I have to say that the design has a bit of a... It looks as though it hasn't evolved that much, you know, and it looks as though the facelift didn't really make much efforts to showing something groundbreaking or to doing something completely different or anything. Now, when it comes to facelifts, Kia doesn't really tend to do many changes when it comes to facelifts, so therefore it doesn't come as a surprise with this Kia Rio. But then in general, facelifts tend to be very exciting or something interesting. But in the case of this Kia Rio, on the exterior, we don't see much changes except for the badge. For a price of 22,000 euros, there's nothing interesting or groundbreaking like keyless entry or the likes, but it's not a big deal. The keyless entry is not the absence of keyless entry is not questionable, but there are some competitors that do offer it as a generosity. So over here is the interior of the Kia Rio, everyone. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So over here you get your climate control, very neat and tidy. I like how everything is arranged. And then I like how you get the heated windows on separate buttons right here. Very, very good. And then over here you get your USB point. And over here you get your 12-volt socket. I just absolutely love how neat and tidy everything looks. And you get an extra storage here, and extra storage right here. A proper central console storage. Now the space in there is not so big, but that's normal for a B segment car. In fact, some B segment cars don't even offer central console storage. So in the case of this Kia Rio, it's actually very generous. And I like the leather feel over it, by the way. And you do get 2 cup holders down there. You get a normal handbrake, everyone. And you get this nice gear stick. I really like the feel of it. And the design and the quality is very, very good. I like it. There's something I couldn't help but notice in many Kia cars, especially in the interior, and that is Kia has an obsession for piano black trims. And it's evident right here, like next to the infotainment system, the piano black trim. And then right here, there's this piano black trim again. So it's very interesting how Kia does it. But it goes very well with the Kia theme, actually. And I'm very impressed. Over here, you have your infotainment system. I really like how organized it is. Right next to the air vents, everyone. Very good. And the position of the infotainment system is actually quite decent. So that way, you're not distracted from driving. And then I like the trim right here. This over here is your speedometer, everyone. You get normal speedometers. And then over here, you get some extra controls. And now, speaking of storage, you also get some extra storage space right there. This glove box is nice and generous, although the manual takes up the space. But if you don't need the manual, you will have extra space in there. Over there, you get the hood latch, everyone. That's good. But do you know where they put the latch for the fuel cap? They kept it down there. Now, I don't know what is it with Kia and Hyundai, but lately they've developed an obsession for putting fuel cap latches or buttons down there. The steering wheel has a nice, pleasant feel to it. I actually like the design of it. So I like how you get the silver trim right here. And then the feel of the steering wheel, it's leather wrapped. Believe it or not, this interior has one unexpected surprise. A sunroof. Literally, guys. This interior has a sunroof. Is it just me, or is this interior supposed to feel like Copacabana beach? I mean, you get the reference, right? I mean, this car is called Kia Rio, so I thought Rio de Janeiro, and then the Copacabana beach. And you get a surprisingly generous storage space up here. I have to confess, I really like the seating. For a price of 22,000 euros, I would have expected something more interesting, but then it's okay. Tissue seats are actually not bad. They're quite nice. I like it. It's better than leather and it's more durable than leather. The Kia Rio interior is so good. It actually feels like Copacabana Beach, and it feels as though it was built for the Copacabana Beach, because on the bright side you get a sunroof instead of other equipments which you would expect for a price of 22,000 euros. It's a big surprise because you do get the sunroof, but you do not get heated front seats. So there's something very interesting, you guys, and I have a feeling, I have a bit of a theory that this car was designed for the beaches. Because if that's the case, then that is so cool. But What about the winter?
One questionable aspect I'd like to remark is the excess amount of hard plastic everywhere, especially for a price of 22,000 euros, everyone. This entire area right here is just hard plastic, including the window controls. For a price of 22,000 euros, I would have expected the window controls to be more appealing. Like, all I see is just black plastic, everyone. There could have been maybe some aluminum touches or perhaps some chrome touches. Some more details added, perhaps. But no, it's just hard plastic, and there's no soft leather, or there's no squidgy plastic or any leather or anything, no fabric, no tissue, and all you get is a nice little pocket in the door, which is good, and the door bin is actually quite nice, but I have a bad feeling a tall water bottle cannot fit in there, so that's another questionable aspect. Otherwise, the door bin is nice. I don't know what is it about Kia and Hyundai, but they both have an obsession for putting conspicuous fuse boxes right here. Like, few times I mistaked this area for being an extra storage, but it turned out it was just a fuse box the whole time. So I don't know why they do this, but I mean, when it comes to maintenance or reparations, it's very easy. That's practical. But in terms of practicality, there could have been some interesting changes made. Another questionable aspect I'd like to remark is the fact that you get presence of plastic that has no purpose whatsoever. Those are just slots for extra options. But usually Kia never does this. Time to move to the rear of this Kia Rio. But before doing so, I would first like to remark how impressed I am with this door. Proper length, proper ease of entrance. And look at this. This is not too long. It doesn't stick out very proudly. So it opens at ease. And because this is all diagonal, it does not hit you in the chest. Over here is the rear seat of this Kia Rio. So I have enough leg room, but the leg room is a bit obstructed on my left side, because there you get the railings for the driver's seat. And same case for the right side of my leg. But it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a common thing amongst B-segment cars. So when it comes to space, I'm not really going to question it so much. My knee room is as good as it has to be. In fact, it's actually better than I expected. So over here, I cannot complain. I have to confess, I actually have a lot of space. I feel like I have a lot of space because I've been in some B-segment cars where my knee would be buried into the seat, the driver's seat, or the front passenger seat. So for a B-segment car, I feel like the Kia Rio has been rather generous. And I also have to confess that the comfort level of the seats are very nice. It feels like a couch. So it's a very good experience, guys. And I have a decent amount of headroom. Look at this. This is very good. But it looks as though that they... okay, I see what's going on, guys. So over here, you see a bit of an elevation, all right? So it goes downwards right here, but that's because of the sunroof. So if had it been there was no sunroof, you would have extra space right here. But do you really need the space right here? You be the judge. But for me, I have a lot of headroom already because over here, there's a decline. You get an increase in headroom. So that's very generous of Kia to think about us. Another thing to note is that for a B-segment car, it's common to not have many things happening here. So climate controls, air vents, and extra storage. Usually, most B-segment cars don't even offer a central console storage. So as I've mentioned earlier, it's very generous. The Kia Rio offers it. And you do get a USB point right here. And that's about it. So there's nothing much happening here, but that's, again, expected. Pocket over here, but not on this side. So yes, it's not a big deal. And as for the door bin is always one of the most debatable aspects about B-segment cars, because practicality is already not a B-segment car speciality. When you buy a B-segment car, you don't really need practicality, but then you do get practicality as a perk. Well, I don't know if perk is the right term to use for this, but please excuse me, guys. You get my point. My point being that if you do get practicality, that's good. And it looks as though Kia has given you sufficient amount in the door bin. The door bin is not so big as what I've seen in other B-segment cars, but then it's good. I mean, it's pretty dark in here, guys, and this light is like the light in the darkness. And then over here you get a nice handle and you do get a coat hook right here. I'm very happy to tell you all that this Kia Rio can seat 3 people with a bit more comfort than average, because you do get a flat floor at the middle. So this means extra legroom and more comfort. Wow! Guys, I mean, it's not very often I see this. Now, the boot space in this Kia Rio is as good as it has to be for a B-segment car, but I have a feeling that it's bigger than average. I mean, look at this, guys. And this is a double floor. So basically, you can have it go all the way down like it is now, or you can have it go at a setting above, like right here, guys. So this is actually quite good. It's an adjustable boot space. I really like this. You get 2 hooks, one here and one there. And you do get storage space right here, guys. Now, that storage space is a big surprise because I have never seen this before. Or maybe I have, guys, but for Kia, I mean, they have it conspicuously right there, so that's a plus. And because this rear door is quite light, it's very easy to close. So you just put your finger right here and then pull it gently. Job done.
So here's my conclusion of the Kia Rio, everyone. I have to say that this Kia Rio is one of the most promising B-segment cars in the automotive industry, especially here in the EU market. Because usually Kia has a big reputation for being great value for money, but in the case of this Kia Rio, I beg to differ just a little bit. But then, again, I will explain to you why it's very debatable about what's going on. So for a price of 22,000 euros, is this Kia Rio good value for money or not? Alright guys, now usually Kia, whenever I see Kia cars, I tend to be very impressed because they are great value for money. But in the case of this Kia Rio, I noticed something a bit unique. Like the Kia Rio has an exceptional case compared to other Kia models I've seen before. First of all, let's talk about the big picture I see. The big picture I see is that this is only a facelift version. Being a facelift version, I don't really see much change on the design aspect of things. It seems as though Kia hasn't really touched the design of the exterior. It seems like the interior has seen some changes perhaps, or maybe in terms of option list. I mean, it's very debatable what's actually going on, because whenever I look at the design, the first thing that comes to my mind is it looks a bit dated. But then that's just my thoughts, you know, maybe I'm wrong, because on the positive side, a dated design is not necessarily bad. A dated design means it's also built to last. It's something that can outlast something more stylish than this car, which is actually true, because I've seen some really fancy cars that are beautiful to look at, but they have really short lives on the road. Whereas I've seen lots of these Kias and they have a very long life. And it's proven. Here in Belgium, I've seen a lot of really old ones still driving, so that's a plus. For a price of 22,000 euros for a B-segment car, I have to say it is okay value for money. I'm very much inclined to say good value for money because I was very impressed with the interior at the front. The sunroof was a big surprise and the presentation was absolutely stunning. But I couldn't help but point out the excess amount of hard plastic everywhere, and then also the lack of details given to some controls. It was like, for example, the window controls was just completely neglected. It's like Kia did nothing about the door. It's like Kia didn't even think about the door. Kia placed a lot of attention to the central console and to the center of the vehicle, where you get the climate control and the infotainment system, but they completely neglected the door. So I had no idea what was going on, guys, but the rear was better than what I had expected. Like, I had a lot of knee room, legroom was good, but then for a B-segment car, I wasn't really expecting much. The seating comfort was a plus. I was happy. And the headroom and the space, no complaints at all. The boot space was great. In fact, I'm inclined to say it was better than average, better than what I've seen before, so of other B-segment competitors. So that's a plus. I cannot complain about it. So in terms of practicality, this car is hit or miss, but I think it's good. I have to say that this car is in a zone between good and okay value for money. The reason why I'm going to give this car a near good, or actually good value for money, is one reason. The one reason being that this car has something which no other competitor offers for their B segment. 7 years of warranty. That's it, guys. You heard me. 7 years warranty. I have not seen other competitors offer this much length of warranty to their own vehicles. So you want my opinion of this Kia Rio? Oh, I love it! I love this Kia Rio. I really do. This Kia Rio is just as interesting as Rio de Janeiro, and also just as interesting as the Copacabana beach. Well, at least the interior was. I mean, can you believe it? These guys prioritized a sunroof over climate control. That is totally not a Belgian thing. Here in Belgium, we are obsessed with climate controls. We don't care about sunroofs, but whoever was responsible for this Kia Rio, the design or something about the option list, clearly had an obsession for Copacabana beaches or perhaps for seasides. I have to say that this Kia Rio is a very promising competitor, and I really do look forward to the next generation, because I have to confess that this generation is very good and promising, but the design is a bit dated. But that's just my thought, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my other car reviews of other B-segment cars, which are competitors to this Kia Rio. Or you can also check out my links in the description of other reviews of Kia cars, which are great value for money.